Sim, ela slår i mig. Mysteries of Michigan. Welcome to Mysteries of Michigan. My name is Tom. I am your host for today, and today we got a special episode. I am with Michael Molasses, who is my son. However, he's also a member of Prism. He's one of our investigators. Been on two interviews with, or investigations with us.
Yeah, two. One Dice and one at Uncle Nick's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Dice Road Cemetery, which we talked about in the first Mysteries of Michigan. Then we did an investigation on my brother's house. And we're going to talk with Michael today quickly, and we're going to discuss the investigations we had, and also some of the weird things that he's had going on in his life. He's actually posted on his Twitter account, two pictures. One of them was taken this last May at his graduation, and then one 2005 at Gettysburg, which we all know is extremely haunted. So, welcome. Glad you can make it.
Thanks for having me.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
So, you've been with Prism from the get-go, which was been about 2010.
Yep.
And our first investigation was at your uncle, my brother's house. And what did you think about that place there?
Well, when I first got in the basement, I didn't know what to expect. We were just doing a lot of EVP sessions, and then over by the furnace, I felt really, really cold for some reason, and I don't know if it was just me, so I told everyone, hey, come over here and make sure it's not me. And,
I remember that. That night we did not get much of anything. There were no EVPs, but we ended up going into where the furnace was, and I remember you telling me you felt a cold spot. Well, I took my EMF detector, and we actually had an EMF spike.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, what was the crazy thing about that night was, as that cold spot was being felt, we could actually feel it move. And the weird thing was that EMF detector went off with it. It followed it. That was the crazy part. Yep. So, there was a lot of instances that the owners said that they actually would hear the door in the upstairs coming from the inside or outside to the inside of the house open. He'd actually see shadows. He thought it was a little boy, but really that was the only thing we had that night, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
that's all I remember.
Yeah. Now, can we chalk that up to being paranormal? I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Hard to say, but Dice Road.
Oh,
that was a different situation.
That was something else.
Yeah. What do you? On the first episode I talked about it, but I think a different perspective would be nice to the listeners out there. So, start off. We all know the history of Dice Road. It's an old cemetery. You were with me as we were walking through the quote-unquote children's part.
Mm-hmm.
That was so old that the names were written. The tombstones were written in German. And I think you agreed with me. There were parts of that cemetery that felt fine.
Yeah.
But you get into that children's part and...
Yeah, I remember I had my book bag with me, and, I'm going through my book bags, opening it up, and I had two cars with me for some reason. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it over in the children's section. And I found a couple pieces of sticks, and I made a little circle around them and leave them there until we're done. And then we got into our own groups, and we were That's the part where we see that orb. that
Yep,
was
the
playing-
orb that was basically what we concluded was kind of playing tag with us.
Yeah.
Hide and seek.
Yeah.
Yep, I talked about that, how we'd see it and it dart back and forth from beyond or behind a tree.
Well, I remember I had my back away to that orb because the first thing I noticed, I had my backpack on me, and I felt like somebody was unzipping my backpack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and did you say that the first episode?
No,
Oh.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I mean that was the
See,
first
that's
thing.
why you're here.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that,
Yeah, here's my story.
yeah, we had a lot going on
Yeah,
that night.
it
and,
was- man.
I can't remember everything.
Anyway, felt like somebody was unzipping my backpack, and so I turned around and I see something in the far distance, and it looked like an orb, you know, like he said, playing hide and seek, and went over to him and it's like, "Are you seeing this?" And man,
That's when we were doing the EVP session.
Yeah.
And that's when I caught the EVP. When I asked how long have you been here, and it responded, I don't know. That's exactly when we saw that orb.
yep. And I kept saying like the same questions: "How long have you been here? Did something happen to you?" And you know, all constant questions. And I never really got anything, but I remember I don't even know where it's at right now. I had an old MP3 player, one of those SanDisk, and I recorded an audio file for like 20 minutes, and I'm not sure if it's still on the actual MP3. I'm sure it's at home somewhere. And at one point, I heard some whispering going on, and I had it far away from you and me, you know, and the rest of the other groups from the MP3.
Yep.
And I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I mean, I knew that it was something.
Yeah. You could hear, you couldn't make out what they were saying, but there were whispers
Right.
going on. Now, I also talked about as we were sitting there doing our EVP session, and we had our two-way radios, and I don't know if you saw the blue orb that Whitney and Justin were telling us about.
Is that the figure that was?
No, the figure was different. This
Oh, okay.
was the blue orb. I don't know if you were there or if you were looking for that orb that you saw, but I remember Whitney radioed to me and said, "Hey, I need you to look over here." As she flashed her flashlight, she said, "Look to the left of us." And to the left of them, she said, "There's a blue light shining above a tombstone that I could see, and it was actually illuminating the top of the tombstone." I don't know if you saw that. part
I
or
do
not.
remember you guys talking about that and seeing that, but I never saw
Okay.
it.
Now,
So,
did you see the figure?
I didn't. I'm for sure I did see it, but when I was with you and Justin at the time.
Yes.
And you guys were radioing Tim, I believe, and we were by the trees, and we thought we saw something moving.
Yep.
We thought it was Whitney and all that, so we radio in. They were at the other part of the cemetery, and it was a figure. I couldn't tell for sure, but as soon as Tim, I believe, started walking towards it, it took off,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay,
Bingo.
yep, I think
that's exactly what I remember.
thought I was
That's
just seeing
exactly
things.
what I mentioned in the first show.
I didn't see it at first, but as soon as it took off, that's
Yep.
part of it.
Now, on the Prism Facebook page, you can actually go in there, and I think Whitney actually has a picture of it. I don't know if you were aware of that, but you can actually see behind the tombstone, there's a picture of a hooded figure that, you know, at first I didn't see it, but everybody looks at it and says, "Oh my gosh, there's something behind that." But yes, we were seeing that all night. We were having it literally follow us.
He was not friendly.
No,
He
he
was
was
not
definitely not friendly. Now, you had to have been with us when we, near the end of the night, when it was you, me, Tim, and Caitlin, and something was thrown at us. Do you remember that part?
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll admit that was a part I got a little scared, and I'm like, you know, we got some food at the house. We can just go eat.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
let's get out of here.
Yep. At first, everybody's like, "There's no way that could have happened."
No.
But yeah, it was thrown at us because it
Yeah.
actually was bouncing towards
Yeah,
us.
it actually hit the back of my shoe.
Did it hit the back?
I
Okay.
felt it.
Yeah, at that point, we decided to call it a night
Mhm.
because it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was. You could definitely feel that there was something there,
Oh yeah.
and
It was an experience, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I don't know if you know this, but and I mentioned it again on the first show. We are the last group that got permission to go there.
I got the word like a week after
Yep.
that investigation. My mom told me about it. I'm like,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, they had too many people partying. The guy called me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that we're not gonna be able to have you come back," because I had talked to him after that because I wanted to go back. It was just so incredible.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So, but they got it all gated off, and gosh, that thing had been open
Since the 1800s.
Yeah, and I mean, people in the 70s, 80s, I remember people talking about that. So God only knows how long that has been going on. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break here, hear about a guy that's trying to sell a book to you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about your personal experiences outside of Prism, and we'll go back from there. All right?
Let's do it.
All righty. We'll be back in a minute.
Coming soon, the zombie survival novel from the hosts of Mysteries of Michigan, Tom Molasses. Follow Mike Locke as he traverses through the backwoods, across the rivers, and through the government quarantine zones of mid-Michigan as he searches for his family who are holed up in their home, trying to survive the impending zombie apocalypse. Can Mike Locke get to his family in time? And if he does, how will he get them home safely? Find out shortly on all ebook readers.
All right, we are back. I don't know. I'd buy that book from that guy. So the only thing I don't know is the title of the book, and that was where you might come in. So actually, you know what? That might be a good idea. Reader submissions. Give me a title for my new book. I don't know what it is. It's a zombie novel based out of mid-Michigan. It doesn't have to have Michigan in the title, but get creative.
I'm not good with titles, so
Come on up. Come on.
You guys are smarter than us.
All right, well, there you go. Reader submissions. If you have any ideas, post it on the Facebook page or the Twitter page. Come up with ideas for the name of my new book. So I just showed Michael on the Prism Facebook site the picture of the hooded figure.
Wow.
And do you see it?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Does it remind you?
Yeah, it does.
Something?
It
Okay.
does. I actually.
Yeah. So go to
You
the
got
Prism
mine.
Facebook site and look at that. Tell me what you think. So actually, we'll post it on Twitter if I can figure out how to do that. So, all right. So we talked about the Prism aspect of it, but you've had some instances in the home you're living in now that you've had some, I guess, paranormal activity.
Yes, I.
Tell
I
me
have.
about that. Now you posted a picture on Facebook.
That was the first one of me at Gettysburg, south side of Michigan. That was the very first thing I experienced that I noticed something was weird after I, got the picture. Well, I guess the first one was me when I was 2 years old in Carlton, but
You heard about that on
yeah,
the show.
yeah.
Do
Thanks
you
for telling
remember
me.
that at all?
No,
You don't remember?
I was
Okay.
in my diapers at the
Yeah.
time.
No, we just got you out of them, so.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the first thing I experienced, paranormal experience I had in my house, it was, I'll say about mid-July. It was a Thursday night. I had football, workout conditioning the next
Of this
Friday.
past year or
July 2011.
2011? Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, it was Thursday night. I had football workouts the next morning. I wanted to get to bed early, get a good workout in, and I'm sleeping, and I got up like 2:30 in the morning. I was just really, really thirsty. So, went to the kitchen, grabbed myself a glass of water, and I'm leaning against the kitchen counter. I had my back laying against the counter. Lean back, take a drink of water, relax, take another drink, and relax for a few seconds, and then I took another drink, and soon, at the moment I was leaning back to finish the rest of my drink of water, felt like somebody was pushing me back, and I knew
Physically pushing
yes,
you back?
physically.
Could you feel them
I felt
touching you?
Yeah, I felt
on the
like
chest?
somebody was pushing me against my chest, and I know I wasn't crazy that night because I was wide awake. I had a hard time sleeping that night, but then I remember after that I just stood there. I'm like, what just happened? I mean, I know I'm not going crazy, so. And then, the next morning after I got done with my workouts, I talked to my mom about this. And I'm like, do you hear or feel anything weird about this house? And then she's like, all the time. All the time. Ever since we moved in there, it's, what, 2000? Something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was about 2000.
Ever since we lived in that house, it's been a lot of weird things going on. And I'm trying to think, that house was built in like the 1960s. And it can't be that old.
No.
I mean, we know it was not any of the last owners, because actually the last owner of that house, someone I related to, an aunt of mine, used to live there. So we don't know. I mean, we haven't done any investigation in that house yet.
No.
So
trying to get permission to do so. So
yeah, you're gonna have to talk to my mom about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the first experience I had. The second one was actually last year, October 5th, 2012. It was after my football game. We just got done winning the game, and I was excited to go home. Actually, as soon as I got home, I was excited because I got on the Xbox, and one of my favorite games when I was a kid, Sonic Adventure 2, was out for the Xbox 360. So I was excited to play that. So I was playing that all night, and then I'm about ready to go to bed. It was late at night, and I had what do you call it?
What are you trying to say?
I had a party the next day. Anyway.
Okay.
So I'm turned off my TV. I, get ready to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm starting to hear noises somewhere in the house. And I'm thinking, okay, it's probably my mom on the phone. So I went to her, and she's sleeping. I'm like,
What kind of noises?
just sounds like somebody was having a conversation. But I can't clearly understand what's being talked about. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's a cat. So I went downstairs to check, and it was nobody down there. And the cats were sleeping downstairs. So I'm like, okay, I'm probably just hearing things. So I went back upstairs, tried to get some sleep, and it was bothering me all night. And I had a feeling that someone was actually in my house. So the last time I heard the voice going on, I grabbed a knife just in case.
Is it that loud of a voice that you?
Yes, it was. It was actually coming from the vent in my room. That I could hear it from the basement.
So it's something in the basement.
Yeah, that's what I was
Can you
thinking.
understand what they're saying?
No, I couldn't. But it sounds like two people having a conversation, and I could not understand what they're saying. So I went down there to check. It was nothing. And my last guess was the cats, but they were both sleeping. I don't know. It was crazy, and I could not sleep that night. I wasn't scared or anything. It was just stuck to my head. I couldn't understand what was going on.
Now, have you seen anything at the house?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I just heard a bunch of weird noises going on in that house. And
okay. Well, talking to your mom, I know she said she's seen a glowing light literally traversing through the house. I don't know if you were aware of that, but maybe I wasn't supposed to tell you. But yes, she has seen something.
I'm pretty sure. I think she told me, but
we don't know what it is, and we're trying to get her to give us authorization to investigate the house. So, that's crazy. That actually, when you were telling me that you were hearing voices coming from the vent, that's sends chills down my spine.
Oh yeah.
So,
I literally I had a sleepless night.
I can imagine you did.
I mean, I wasn't scared or
I give
anything.
you
It was
props
just bothering
for going
me.
down there. Holy cow!
It was bothering me. I just didn't know what was going on.
Does your mom hear voices?
I'm pretty sure she has, because I remember I asked her that first question, like, do you hear any voices in the house or anything weird going on? And she said, ever since we moved in that house, yeah.
Wow, crazy. All right, well, we're going to finish up here. We're going to get a quick advertisement from Prism before we end this interview, but we'll be right back. The Paranormal Research and Investigative Society of Michigan is a family-operated paranormal research group based out of mid-Michigan. Formed in 2010, Prism has conducted numerous investigations that have yielded some very interesting results. With a team of true believers and skeptics alike, Prism assures you of the most comprehensive and accurate investigation possible. If you feel you are having paranormal activity or any activity you cannot explain, please contact Prism at 989-413-0430, or you can find them on Facebook at PRISOM. As with any Prism investigation, yours will be done free of charge, and all steps will be taken to ensure your privacy. Again, if you have any paranormal activity or activity you cannot explain, please contact Prism at 989-413-0430 or find them on Facebook. Prism, the Paranormal Research and Investigative Society of Michigan, serving mid-Michigan and beyond. Alright, well, we are back. First off, I'd like to say thanks for stopping by.
And thanks for having me.
Not a problem. This was fun.
Oh, yeah.
It adds a whole new dimension to the show. I'm trying to build the show here and thought this would be a good idea. So I'd like to do more of this. But if you go on the Twitter account, Mysteries of Michigan, there's the photos that Michael put on there. There's the hooded figure photo. Prism, P-R-I-S-O-M, or the Paranormal Research and Investigative Society of Michigan, has a Facebook page that has other photos. And, I put a comment out on the Prism site. We're also, originally we were looking into just the spirit aspect of the investigations, but I'm actually toying with the idea of looking into UFO accounts, the spirits, cryptozoology, your Bigfoot, stuff like that. Let me know what you think. I don't know what you think about it, but, when you were a kid, I was a huge ufologist. I used to follow UFOs, used to go on UFO skywatches.
Oh, yeah.
Is what they
I
call
remember.
them. Yep.
I remember.
And I kind of want to get into that, get to the bottom of that. So let me know what you think about that. Comment on the page. And also I would like to thank you, in case you guys didn't know, Michael is my go-to guy putting all this stuff on YouTube because I have no idea how to do it. So he's kind of like my promotional manager. So as soon as I start making money on this program, he might get paid.
Don't forget to subscribe on Podbean too.
Podbean, yep,
And me.
Podbean. We're on
And follow on
iTunes, follow on
iTunes.
Twitter.
I forgot to mention that. It's
Yeah,
on
that's
iTunes.
all right. So, well, again, thank you very much, and Happy New Year, and
Happy
look
New
forward
Year.
to the next show, maybe week and a half, 2 weeks out. Let me know what you want to hear about. I'm all open. I'm willing to talk about anything. So, have a great night. Happy New Year, and be safe. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.